Welcome to the Why You Can't Sleep podcast. If you struggle to sleep and you've tried what seems like everything, you are in the right place. There are imbalances in your body that are keeping you awake, and you're going to learn what they are in this show. Now, let's kick off this episode with an inspiring success story from one of my clients who has significantly improved their sleep by correcting the underlying health issues that were causing their insomnia.
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. Getting back to sleep when I wake up in the middle of the night. Still wake up most nights, but I'm able to get back to sleep fairly quickly. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night, feel really good, physically feel better, mentally feel better. And I would say even nutritionally, I have gained a little weight, not a lot, but a couple pounds here and there, but that's probably good. If my mom ends up listening to this, I'm sure she'll say, "See, I told you you weren't eating enough for all those years." But no, I feel great. I'm doing really well. And I would say just in general, just happier because I'm not worried about sleep. It's not constantly on my mind. I remember my wife when I was really at a low point, she said, "I really feel like you're just dwelling on this." And I said, "You're absolutely right. I'm dwelling on this." It was consuming just so much of my thinking throughout the day and my worry about it, and I'm not worried about it. I sleep well, I look forward to going to bed, and I wake up pretty refreshed, so I'm doing really well.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today, I want to talk about why all the sleep advice doesn't work. And what I mean by sleep advice is if you Google how to sleep better, you're going to get the same advice pretty much everywhere, right? Don't watch screens before bed because of blue lights. Don't drink caffeine past 2 p.m. Make sure to exercise every day. Follow a relaxing bedtime routine. Now, I remember when I had sleep issues and was doing all the research and I would just read this over and over again and just think I'm already doing all of these things. And it drove me crazy because there was no other answer. But so this is what I want you to know, that the reason you aren't sleeping isn't because you're watching TV at night. There are probably millions of people who watch TV at night before bed and sleep just fine, including myself. I know I now watch TV before bed and sleep great, even though I remember being so frustrated when I couldn't sleep that I would stay away from screens and again follow all those rules, and my husband could still watch TV and sleep just great. So I know how frustrating this is. So I want you to know the reason you can't sleep is because there's something going on in your body that is keeping you awake. So it could be hormone imbalance, it could be gut issues, it could be liver detox issues, it could be heavy metals. There are so many possibilities that I look for. And this is why staying away from screens isn't going to work. I do recommend that many of my clients stop watching TV at least a half hour before bed. And so I do suggest that they follow the sleep rules, such as these, because it can help them get more sleep in the short term while we address the underlying causes so that their sleep is better in the long term. Because this isn't the answer. If the answer was to stop watching TV before bed, then everyone with sleep problems would get better when they stopped watching TV before bed. So that obviously isn't happening. And it's the same with caffeine. So don't drink caffeine past noon or past 2 or whatever it is. Now, too much caffeine could actually be playing a role in your sleep issues. I actually recommend that most of my clients eliminate caffeine for a period of time in general because caffeine can be great if you are totally healthy and your body can deal with it if you're totally healthy. But it is a drug that your liver has to process, that your body has to detox from. And so if you are already under stress, which you are if you can't sleep, then that caffeine is just adding to that stress. And it also, I mean, it literally raises your cortisol when you drink it. That's partly why we get the energy that we do from it. And so if you already have too much cortisol, then you're just, adding more fuel to that fire. Or if your cortisol has become depleted over time, you're causing your body to release cortisol for the stressor of caffeine when it likely needs it for other stressors like whatever's going on in your gut or wherever there's inflammation. Since my goal in my program is to lower stress and inflammation as much as possible, I do tend to recommend that my clients eliminate caffeine for 90 days and let their body reset. And this is especially important for if you have anxiety, because, caffeine is a stimulant. And so it can definitely contribute to anxiety. So I know that that might not be what you want to hear, but the basic rule of just eliminating it by noon or by 2 isn't usually enough if you're trying to actually restore your health. Also, some of us metabolize caffeine differently than others. So caffeine has a normal half-life of 6 hours, but for some people, that by the way, that means it's still in your body 12 hours later. But for some people, it takes them even longer to process it. And so even if you're drinking a cup or 2 in the morning, that could still be with you at night and impacting your sleep. So that is what I think about caffeine. Now, when we talk about a bedtime routine, I do think a bedtime routine is important. It is what I recommend to all of my clients because if we think about it, our modern lifestyle has contributed so much to sleep problems. Because the light bulb actually was only invented 150 years ago. Very recently in our history, we were going to bed and waking up with the sun. And now these days we wake up, we go, 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 and do that all day until it's time to go to bed. And we can't expect our bodies to just go, go, go all day long and then relax when we tell it to relax. We're meant to have more relaxation time, more leisure time in our lives than we do now. And so a relaxing bedtime routine is really an important part of the process and also to lower stress in general, but it's not the answer. If there's something going on in your body that's also causing your body to release cortisol at night, such as a pathogen in the gut or too many more toxins than your liver can handle, then a bedtime routine isn't enough. But it is part of a healthy lifestyle and a healthy way to sleep. So I do recommend that, but it's not going to cure someone's chronic insomnia, most likely. Now, as far as exercise goes, yes, it is important to move your body every day. So, some people, if they are sedentary, then can be contributing to their sleep issues and contributing to their health not being great. I also see people going the other extreme and making the mistake of too much exercise. I've had clients who say they try to exhaust themselves to be able to sleep. And again, if you are sleeping, your body is already stressed. Exercise is adding more stress. Now, yes, we need to move, and that's important. But when you're doing strenuous exercise for longer than 30 minutes, you're stimulating that stress response. Your body's releasing that cortisol. And if your body's already needing cortisol for other things, then you're just adding more stress onto the stress, and it's more than your body can handle. And this is why exercise is called a hormetic stressor. So that means that it should build us up. Like the stress on our body actually makes us stronger. But when it's excessive, when it's too strenuous, especially if you have health issues such as insomnia, then it's too much stress. And so, for this reason, for most of my clients, I recommend 30 minutes of exercise per day. For someone who is very fit and is used to strenuous exercise, 30 minutes of strenuous exercise is fine, but I recommend limiting it to 30 minutes. Otherwise, for someone who isn't exercising a lot, working up to 30 minutes of walking is a great way just to move your body to get started. So that's some of the basic sleep advice that I'm sure that you've heard about. I'm sure that you've tried. And if it hasn't worked, it's because there's something deeper going on. Your body's way out of whack, and we need to find out what is out of balance and come up with a plan to fix it. And that's exactly what I can help you with. We want to find the root cause of why you aren't sleeping. And it's not from watching screens before bed or any of these other things. It's just not. To help you figure out what could be causing your insomnia, I created a checklist to go with this podcast series. For each category I talk about in the episodes, such as inflammation and hormone balance and gut health, you can mark off what symptoms you have for each one. The more symptoms you check off in each category, the more likely that imbalance is contributing to your sleep issues. Get a copy of the checklist today by going to thesleepdetective.com/checklist.